We have now interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you.
All right, welcome back to another edition of the Warheads. I am Apocalypto Joe. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Roscoe.
I'm
OGzo.
And I'm Kana. Good evening, everyone.
And I want to ask you guys a question. Do y'all remember Chappelle's show when he used to do those skits, True Hollywood Stories?
Yeah.
You remember when they did the Rick James episode?
Yeah.
And he was messing with Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I definitely remember.
Remember when he was like, they never should have gave you niggas money. We got a true life case. They should have never gave these niggas money. We got a case that took place out in Fresno, California. A mom received a $4.9 million settlement from the police after they killed her son. Well, this mom, she sits up here and takes this money and off of the orders of somebody on death row, a 47-year-old convicted murderer who's locked up in prison, proceeds to put out a hit. She goes out and buys guns for her 14-year-old son and his gang. And so we've all been abreast to this story. I want us to go in on this topic. Go in, Warheads.
Oh man, this is quite the doozy. It's a crazy thing when you have your child taken away from you for any reason, at all. But this lady, Christina Lopez is her name, is it?
Yes.
So it's always a Lopez too, by the way. I just want everybody that.
Totally related.
No, but
all Mexicans know each other.
right. Oh, but yeah, this lady, she wins this settlement because her 17-year-old gets killed in 2017, and she gets paid out near $5 million. So you think that even though you can never replace a child, any person, with money, this lady was given some type of compensation for that. And instead of going off into the sunset and trying to make make the right things happen with this money, she goes and takes this blessing out of nowhere and turns it into some more nefarious bullshit, where she sets up a crime ring basically with including some of her younger kids, I'm guessing, but this ring of kids that gets arrested, because I think it's like up to 14 people or whatever it was, but that gets arrested. But most of them was teenagers. Some of them as young as 13. So that's just crazy, but to have our kids involved in this, which was the case, I mean, to me, it just screams of this lady is trying to be Griselda reincarnated, basically. So,
Oh, it's on me. Okay. No, what I think about it, man, hey, like you said, Sco, this is the new Griselda. She, it looks like this family has been allegedly involved in nefarious dealings. What was her son? Was 15, 16, the one that got killed, right?
17.
17. That's how she
Yeah.
initially got $5 million settlement out of his wrongful death suit. I guess behind the scenes, he might not have been as guilty as might not have been as innocent as seemed, because she allegedly just took a little nice little piece of that change and went and bought guns for the gang of
Yeah.
her 14-year-old son. I'm
Mm.
not sure. Is the son the leader of the gang, or
I
is
don't
he
think
just
they.
part of the gang?
I don't think it's specified whether or not, at least according to the article that I read, whether or not he was the gang leader. It's hard for me to imagine somebody that young being the head, but
Right. A
you
bunch of
know,
grown-ups following the 14-year-old,
yeah, yeah.
she might have been a gang leader,
Well, it was bought out that a shot caller from behind bars was the one that put the hit out.
Okay, okay,
but she just bought the amp. She bought the equipment
Yeah,
for the
she
hit.
was the financier.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Buying all the guns and whatnot, so that was just again, like how do you take and there's I think I chose the wrong word when I called it a blessing, because again, nothing's gonna replace a kid, but she turns this money that she gets into these type of activities. I don't know what type of karma she thought she was getting from this.
Well, she probably don't care about karma. She just wanted whoever this person was that they went after, that the shot caller said to go after. I got to ask the question: if she had not gotten that money back in April, would they have even asked her to finance the hit? You see what I'm saying? It's almost like they said, "Oh, we got a sucker with some money. We'll have her be the one that's responsible for getting the guns." I don't think this would have went down this particular way had they not known she got that settlement. You see what I'm saying?
Well, no,
Y'all go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
I just want to point out that this whole investigation got started based off of a killing that was attached to this gang. You know what I mean? So that's what and once they started up the investigation, her name ends up popping up into the situation, and so that's how they end up even
But they had
unraveling this whole thing.
they got wiretaps too. Like
Mm-hmm.
they had the whole breakdown of when she would have the conversations with the dude in prison.
Right. Right.
Well,
And
So
Jovi, you're not holding
even
her.
the lawyer
You're not
said,
holding her accountable. What'd you say,
because
bro?
even
well,
though said that it couldn't be like there's no denying once they look at all the transcripts of the wiretaps.
well,
What'd you say?
unfortunately, the only people who are the bad. I mean, well, I'm not going to say the bad people, but the only one that got used in this was the judicial system who paid her the money. I mean, unfortunately, they ran across known gang members, and you can tell right offhand from the call from jail, it's bigger than just her. Now, would this hit would have went and actually got pursued? Yeah, without the money. Apparently, these kids are no longer children; they soldiers. This is how they looking at this. So trust and believe. She didn't hit the news. They didn't call 14 people. Is the hit still on? Hell yeah. We'll be hearing about something else happening about this same case, because even though they got hurt, them other people got access to that money, unless they didn't suspended her bank account or whatever they done did. But if they got access to the money, the hit still goes on.
She bought a lot though. She bought a house and shit.
Right.
Now, what you got?
Well, I'm familiar with the area of Fresno, California. So I mean, that whole area there, I mean, just going off of the mentality of most people in that Fresno area. I mean, Fresno is pretty ghetto. So it doesn't surprise me that this woman would do that with the money. It's just a rowdy place. It's rowdy. I mean, the people there, I mean, it's barely any jobs there. It's not a lot of business. I mean, unless you're a nurse or your kids are going to college. But I mean, they have the Fresno State University or just Fresno State School, which is good. It's a good school, but I mean, it's not a lot of good going on in Fresno. So it doesn't surprise me when you guys said Fresno, that's where she's from. Not to put, ugly, tarnished Fresno, but it doesn't surprise me that she would take the money and do that. I mean, Fresno is gang infested, dope dealers. I mean, it's a lot going on in Fresno. It's a lot of not so good things going on in Fresno in that area. So it just doesn't surprise me that she would go out there and do that with the money. I mean, I don't know why we expect people who is from the hood, because people don't know Fresno, but it's a hood. It's the hood. It's like Compton, Watts, Chicago. You know, it may not be like that, but that's the kind of mentality of people we talking about. So I don't expect her to do something, you know, oh, I'm gonna just change my life. I mean, unfortunately, you know, she didn't choose to do that because that's her surroundings. That's where she lives. That's the people she hang around.
Right.
So it's not, I don't know why we expect people who don't, even if you a person and you know you don't have money. I mean, your mentality has to be in a certain place for you to do something constructive with money. I mean, if you have a mentality that is a broke mentality, you're not going to say, oh, let me go get a business, or let me go do something. Let me go get a financial advisor. Let me sit down with some people who can help me do something good with this money. You're just going to, whatever you've been doing, smoking weed, doing whatever you was doing, you're going to just be doing it on a whole other level, on 10 times 10 power. That's all.
So you're just saying money makes you more of a person that you already are.
That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, it just makes it come out.
I think it's interesting that with this particular situation, this woman was married. You know, when I first heard the story, I got single mother vibes all over the place. But to find out that there's a man in the house that she's married to, like what kind of dummy? Like, I don't care. Like $5 million, that's enough money to disappear. You know, even from Fresno, you can clearly go to the other side of the country and leave that whole life behind you. But to have a man in the house, you got to wonder what's his mentality to be like, yeah, babe, buy our 14-year-old son and his gangbangers some guns to go get this fool that some dude in prison who's never going to get out has ordered us to kill. It just lets you see how deep the tendrils are to this murder and death culture out here. You know, maybe fear was what inspired this. You know, so many questions, but the fact that there was a man in the house, a husband, that is what's scary. You know, that type of money, you just vanish, you know.
That's soldiers.
We don't know where the Lopez's went.
But we got one of them with us, so.
Hey, boy, this is the Book of Carlos.
Yeah, so you got some explaining to do about your people. So
this is the Book of Carlos.
Yeah, but it's everybody though. I mean,
shit.
If you get down to it though, like you were saying, it does touch on the gang culture, the gang violence, the music that's perpetuated to everybody. The shit that's hot right now is killing. I mean, look at 90% of rap is killing. It's nothing positive. It's nothing like worth the longevity. I mean, like, to be real to the root, that's really what it is. And it's leaked to the outside to the people who don't have that money or don't have the channels that the rappers do, or everybody that puts that forward. So it leaks out to society, and then everybody has to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. It becomes a new norm.
What?
Today's hip hop gives a new meaning to murder rap. What were you gonna say?
Well, two things. The rappers today is a lot of little ignorant sons bitches saying nothing. And it takes an ignorant son bitch to believe in what they saying. But this right here is something different. Just so happened Fresno police came across something that most likely they wouldn't come across. Then they came across somebody's cartel. That lady is a soldier. Her husband is a soldier. Those children are soldiers. What's going to happen is she going to open her mouth, and then mysteriously you're going to hear about her on the news dead. You're going to hear about everybody else getting wiped out, whoever opens their mouth. So right now, that $5 million, that ain't hers. That's the cartel's money. So right now, she's following orders. So trust and believe this woman didn't concoct this and say, you know what? The dude inside the jail told me to do this, that, and the other. And I'm gonna go get these guys, and we gonna get these guns. No, they've been at this. No telling how long she's been here. And then you know to be a legal immigrant, you got to be married to get into the state, especially if she comes from there. If you look into our background, you know, it's cartel written all over this shit.
Right.
Could be.
Right.
Now that's no disrespect to my brother down here of the Latino ethnic, but he knows just as well of what I'm talking about. It's a difference between black gangs and the Latino gangs. Latino gangs take it a little bit more serious than we do, where you have mother, father, grandmother, everybody who's been in it, still in it. This is what this is, and it's a family thing. Not
but the cartel's making far too much money at the border right now for that to even be into the equation.
Yeah, but who would have?
I mean, even if she could have blew it all away already. I mean, we don't know how many guns she actually bought. You don't like she supposedly bought a house. She was taking care of 14 kids. Everything new could have been in the house. Like she could have went through. Like that's life-changing money, but she didn't. Like, and that's what's problem is the culture that's perpetuated this gang culture. This like nobody has to be a thug. Nobody has to be nothing in this day and age. Like everybody should be just worried about getting money or trying to survive right now because it's just crazy. But and just like you said, no, I'm sorry to cut you off again, but just like you said, a lot of people don't have morals. So that falls into this. There's a lot of dumbass people fall to that shit.
No, see, and before we continue with this particular show, I'm gonna just stop the presses for a second because I happen to notice my tag there, and it I wanted, I totally expected that to say immortal Roscoe. Apparently, some faux pas has happened to where it doesn't say immortal Roscoe, it says immoral Roscoe.
That was a Freudian slip.
Like they say, Roscoe, don't expect anything and you'll never be disappointed.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I don't know what we doing around here and why we putting people's character traits out for everybody to see. You know what I mean? I don't know why we doing that.
Those are your pronouns, I thought.
Why?
But I don't want to I don't want to get us away from what we talking about. But Apocalypto is bogus. That's all I got to say.
Yes, I am from time to time. But no, I'll say this, man, about this case, because I think we've pretty much covered everything on this. We've talked about the culture that spawns this type of behavior and whatnot. But, in the words of Jay-Z, sex, murder, and mayhem, romance for the streets. This is one of those situations where these niggas just shouldn't have ever gotten that money. It's as simple as that. We see what happens when ignorance gets a hold of money, and there's really nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do is separate ourselves and protect ourselves if we value our lives individually and our families.
What does it say?
Say that again?
The fool and the money shall part.
Yes, they will.
They will. Kanai, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. I agree with everybody on the panel. It's really not a lot to say about this woman and why she did what she did with this money. I mean, like I said, if you guys could just be in Fresno, you would understand too. But I'm good on it. I got a period behind what I said.
Well,
we got our own personal
Mother, man.
Huh? What'd you say, Silk?
Y'all better start talking about little puppets madre. Little puppet and little Joker gonna come holler at you.
I love that little Joker character, man. That used to be funny, but all I gotta say is, Zoe, get your peoples, man. Get your peoples. That's all I gotta say.
I'm so bad.
Turn the volume down on them, huh?
They wilding out here. They wilding out here.
Because I shouted out the morals and your name is immoral.
No, and I fully intend to pay everybody back for, not showing proper respect to my character, because I am not immoral. You know what I mean? You know, but this lady, this lady Christina, she very much is though. So
I just think they have revenge in their mind the whole time. You know, they just have revenge in their mind the whole time.
who, me or her? Me or her? Who you talking about?
Both of y'all.
Probably both of y'all.
Yeah, both of y'all.
Y'all.
Is that her in the back? Is that her in the background right there? It looks like her right there in the background.
No, you ain't gonna be.
Eyes were beaming in the back of his head and shit.
Yeah, she kind. Y'all look related, though. I'm sorry.
Crazy eyes.
Them your weepalacious, man. Them your weepalacious, like they said. Them your weepalacious.
Y'all are very stereotypical.
No. They go bad us, so we ain't doing that to you like that.
We all in the same gang. Hell, they at the border. We at the damn seashore. Hell.
Yeah, no. It's all about black and brown love, man. All day.
It is.
Look. They at the border. They're at the border, and they declare us furniture. That's how they treat us. God damn it.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Yep.
That's what's
Speak
up.
Speak on it, Isaac.
That's what's up, y'all. Anyway, we know that there will be more updates from this story in the days and weeks to come. Until then, like, comment, subscribe. Join us as we go in on these topics. Why do I keep saying that?
Because maybe you want to say target.
Warhead, baby.
Shout out to Panamanian Pimp.
You got a war in your head. That's the problem. You got a war in your head.